The sun had barely climbed over the rooftops of Willow Creek, a quiet suburban neighborhood known for its picture-perfect lawns and nosy neighbors. On Maple Drive, Miss Loretta Jenkins, a 70-year-old black grandmother, was watering her small patch of rose bushes, something she did every morning. Her back was bent, her hands gentle, her mind peaceful. But that peace was about to be broken by something ugly. Welcome to Silent Divide Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe because you don't want to miss tomorrow's story. Loretta didn't notice the white HOA patrol car creeping slowly up the street. Inside sat Officer Brad Yates, bald, thick-necked, mid-40s, and known around the neighborhood for one thing: picking on the wrong people. His sunglasses reflected her every move as he parked right in front of her driveway. Then he stepped out, hands on his belt, smirking. "Ma'am," he said sharply, "you know it's against HOA rules to water your lawn before 9 a.m. You blacks never read the regulations, do you?" Loretta looked up, blinking. "Sir, I've lived here 20 years. I water my plants every morning. Never been a problem before." Brad's smirk widened. "Well, I'm the new problem." He grabbed the hose from her hand, spraying water onto the grass before shutting it off. "Consider this a warning, Black Grandma." "Or what?" she asked softly, her voice trembling with restrained strength. His eyes hardened. "Or I make it official. Ape." He stepped closer, too close. "Before we dive in deeply, let us know in the comments what country or which city you're watching this story from. We'd love to know how far this story travels." Loretta could smell the cologne on his uniform as Officer Brad leaned closer, the kind of smell that mixed racism and cheap aftershave. She took a step back, clutching her gardening gloves. "You don't have to talk to me like that, son," she said calmly. "I've done nothing wrong." Brad let out a cold laugh. "Son! Lady, you people always pull that respect card when you're caught breaking the rules." He looked around, noticing a few curtains shifting behind windows. Neighbors were watching. "Put that hose away and get back inside before I write you ape up for property violation." Loretta tried to keep her dignity. "You can write whatever you want, but I'm not your enemy." That's when it snapped. Brad grabbed her wrist, hard. "Don't walk away while I'm talking to you," he barked, yanking her arm so roughly she stumbled. Her watering can fell, clattering against the pavement. "Let go!" she cried, trying to pull free, but he shoved her against the fence. The wooden boards creaked under her weight. Pain shot up her shoulder as she gasped. Across the street, a car engine cut off. A tall man stepped out slowly, his boots hitting the pavement like thunder in the quiet morning. It was Ryan Jenkins, Loretta's son. Former Marine, combat veteran, home on leave. He froze for half a second, then his jaw tightened. "Get your hands off my mother now." Officer Brad turned his head, his grip still firm on Loretta's wrist. His voice was sharp. "This doesn't concern you, sir. Back off before I call for backup." Ryan took a slow, steady step forward. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't blink. "You're already outnumbered, officer. 2 eyes, 1 conscience. You've lost both." Brad sneered, letting go of Loretta just long enough to rest his hand on his baton. "What's that supposed to mean, ape? You threatening law enforcement?" Loretta rubbed her wrist, whispering, "Ryan, don't—" But the tremor in her voice broke him. Ryan walked closer, his boots grinding against the gravel. His movements were controlled, too controlled. The same calmness he had in combat zones when facing insurgents. His tone was low, almost steady, but burning underneath. "I'm not threatening. I'm instructing you to let her go back inside now." Brad took a defiant step forward, baton out now. "You think your gallant Negro act scares me?" Ryan didn't answer. His eyes flicked to his mother, then back to the cop. "You don't know what scared looks like," Ryan said softly. Before Brad could react, his radio crackled on his shoulder. A dispatcher's voice called in some code, but he ignored it, eyes locked on Ryan. "You move another inch," Brad warned, "and I'll put you down right next to her." The neighborhood had gone silent. Ryan took one step closer, the morning light cutting across his face. His fists unclenched slowly, but his shoulders squared with quiet power. Brad raised his baton high. "Last warning," he barked. That's when Ryan moved. He sidestepped fast, clean, precise, grabbing Brad's wrist mid-swing. The baton never landed. With a twist that came from years of combat drills, Ryan redirected the force, sending the cop stumbling sideways. Brad tried to recover, but Ryan swept his leg low, knocking him off balance. The baton clattered across the pavement. Brad cursed and lunged, throwing a wild punch. Ryan ducked, countering with a sharp elbow to the ribs, controlled but firm enough to make the air burst out of Brad's lungs. The officer staggered, gasping, eyes wide. "You picked the wrong person's mother," Ryan said, voice cold, almost too calm. Brad swung again, desperate now. Ryan caught the punch, twisted his arm behind his back, and pressed him against the patrol car hood. The metal rang out with the impact. Brad grunted in pain. "Let me go, you ape, or You'll stop talking," Ryan cut in, tightening his hold just enough to keep him still. His tone wasn't angry, it was precise, measured. "This isn't a war zone, officer, but I've seen what happens when men like you forget what mercy looks like." Loretta stood nearby, trembling, tears streaking her cheeks. Shy, and for the first time, Brad Yates looked genuinely afraid. Brad's breathing turned ragged as Ryan kept him pinned to the patrol car. The neighborhood had gone deathly silent. Only the rustle of wind through the trees and the distant bark of a dog broke the tension. Curtains shifted, phones were recording. Ryan leaned in close, his voice low but sharp as steel. "You don't ever touch my mother. You don't ever disrespect her, or any black woman again." Brad tried to jerk free, but Ryan's grip only tightened for a heartbeat before he released him suddenly. Brad stumbled forward, clutching his shoulder, humiliated and red-faced. "Get in your car," Ryan ordered, "and when you file your report, tell them you were racially abusing an elderly black woman." Brad hesitated, anger and shame twisting in his expression. He looked at the neighbors, then at Loretta, her calm eyes steady despite the pain in her arm. For the first time, he couldn't find words. Ryan took a step closer, his voice quieter now. "Out there," he said, pointing toward the horizon, "men die to protect this country. And you walk around here thinking a badge and your skin color makes you better than the people you're supposed to serve." Brad lowered his gaze, the reality of his actions sinking in. He backed into his patrol car, slammed the door, and drove off without another word. Ryan turned to his mother, gently helping her back toward the porch. "You okay, Mom?" She smiled faintly through her tears. "I am now, baby. I am now." Across the street, neighbors slowly emerged, unsure but moved. A few clapped softly, others just nodded. That morning, Willow Creek learned that discipline isn't about violence. It's about knowing exactly when to stop. The end. Please like and subscribe for more rich stories like this. Comment below. Also, if you really love this video and want to support the channel directly, you can hit that super thanks button below.